It is Thursday, wedding season. It's getting me. It is Thursday. It is noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. That means it is time for Wedding Film School Live, where we are watching your films that you guys, our community, submitted to us. And today I am joined, as usual, by Jason. Jason, how you doing?
I didn't turn my mic on, but I am doing so great. I didn't have to have a child today, which was nice.
One more day. You have another day.
Yeah. Another day of one child. Everything. If you're wondering why I'm randomly saying that, my wife is pregnant, and we, I don't want to say it's a scare. Everything's good, but you just know, if you've anyone who's had kids, you know, like, doctors are like, hey, today's the day, not the day. So today is not the day. And so I get to be with you guys on the live stream, which is great.
This community is kind of like your second child, wouldn't you say? Jay?
I would say I put a lot of work into it. Not quite as much as I put into my child, but I feel sometimes like similar in that, like, you put a lot of work in and you don't make any money.
Just drains your bank account. It's very similar in a lot of ways.
But you love it, you value it, and you know, I love seeing the wins. I love seeing the wins of these people. So.
Ooh, we got some spicy comments with the daddy please. We're starting off with a bang.
Love it.
If you have joined us before, welcome back. We appreciate you. If you've not joined us, quick rundown on what we do, because we have changed it as of a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Just a little bit, nothing major. But we are reviewing wedding films that are submitted by you guys, our community here at Wedding Film School. I'm gonna post a link if you want to submit films. If we don't get to them today, they'll just kind of be there for next week. We could pull from them, but we always recommend resubmitting them as well. But here's what we do. We're going to go through your film, and we're going to watch it. If you are a member of the channel, a paid member, which we appreciate.
Thank you so much if you're a member. It means so much to us. Even if you don't submit films, if you're willing to join and you're willing to support us, it means a lot.
Yes. And so, yeah, if you are a member, we're going to watch your full film, or we're going to watch up to 5 minutes, which is what we've typically done. And if you're not a member, we're going to watch about 2 minutes. So that's kind of what we've cut down. We just want to fit as many films as we can, because we're getting more and more submissions now each week. And then what we're going to do is talk about what we loved about that film, what we think the filmmaker did really well, what we think they should lean into, their strong points, things like that. And then on the flip side, we're going to talk about where we think they could improve, little things that we might have done differently, and really with the idea of meeting that filmmaker where they are. So whether you are brand new, it's your first film, or you're 10 years in the industry or whatever, we want to help you with the idea of, like, your next film, here's the things that I would do differently to have the biggest impact on your next film.
Yeah, and there's usually like a business side of what we're going to recommend, and then there's a creative side. So it's not simply, hey, shoot better. It's, you know, it's, hey, this would be more marketable, and this could be, this will just help you level up wherever you want to go. And a new Odyssey, here's what I'll tell you. If you hang around and you submit your film on that form right there, if you're here at the end, we'll do your teaser.
Oh, that's a promise. All right. So, I'm going to pin that to the top. New Odyssey, you saw that. It's, I think it's still under your comment. I don't know for sure, but it's for sure pinned at the top of chat. Yeah, anything else? I'm trying to think. I've got my first films of the year wrapping up. I'm about to send off one, but I still have to edit like a 3-hour Indian ceremony for it. But
you know, I was gonna say I've shot every weekend for like 5 weekends right now.
I thought that wasn't supposed to happen this year for you.
No, it's gonna slow down a lot because of this child. I think I'm shooting 11 or 12 total.
All right.
But
you're just halfway through your season.
May, June is psycho for us. Like in September, I'm shooting a lot too. I mean,
yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna shoot 10. Who am I kidding? Yeah. Like, I wish I could tell you guys about this opportunity I just got, that to do something super interesting with wedding with video. It's not a wedding film. It's at weddings, and it's experiential. That's what I'll tell you.
Jay is going to be the videographer that the DJ brings.
I would say
make a really cool
it's
film.
more like a video fusion of design with the wedding planner. It's like an experiential thing that we're making at weddings. And I can't wait to show it off. I'm excited through this. So anyway, let's
get to some
review some films. What do we got?
Up first, we've got Max Smith from the Smiths. Always
on the podcast. If you didn't listen to their episode, by the way, go check it out. It's relevant to what we were talking about today with family. We talk a lot about what it's like to do wedding films as a parent and time balance and all that junk. So check out Wedding Film School Show episode with the Smiths. And of course, you're about to see they're very good filmmakers.
Yeah, so we'll watch about 2 minutes of this. It's a 5 to 6 minute highlight. And Max said, super fun couple. The groom hated the camera. He was a trooper for it and did it for her, though, and it paid off. They ended up loving the film. Motorcycle shots was my favorite part. And he feels like this venue and couple and whatnot was made for his brand and his style.
Pure edgy. Here we go.
Edgy.
Let's do this. Here's our first film today. Guys, let us know how it sounds and how it looks. And here we go.
Wow.
How good is their logo, by the way? Their new one?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's beautiful. They did such a great job with the rebrand.
Baby. Elvish.
It is Elvish, isn't
You
it?
look amazing. Wow, that looks...
That guy just said Elvish. That was his first comment there. That's so funny. Here, before we do this one, Bobby, I was going to say, why don't we do intro? We'll do like 30 seconds of the middle. We'll try to check out the ceremony, make sure we check that out, and then make sure to check out the ending as well.
Cool.
Nice, too. Gorgeous.
This gives the booty a little
Gorgeous.
tap.
You need to look like this every day, moving forward. Yeah, that's the only rule. Those earrings, too. Jesus. I didn't buy those, did I?
I'm seeing you operate. I'm seeing you seeing me too. And I like all the ways you shake, and I can relate to the ways you move. So come on into my habitat, or we can meet up anywhere you choose. Anytime we can interact, I'll be down with that to connect to you. We got it good. We got it good. Good connection. All I want is keep you close with good connection.
Fast forward a few years as we...
All right, we'll skip a little bit.
Let's fast forward a few years.
Fast forward a few years. All right, I like this. Here, we're getting to some.
Little did I know it would turn into this. It's been almost 7 years now, and I still see the fire in your eyes, brighter than ever before. I promise I will tend to that fire and keep it not only lit, but fierce throughout time.
Lakota J. Tid. 6 years I've had the honor of loving you, yet somehow I'm supposed to summarize all of those years into
6 years, bro. Put a ring on it. What took you so long?
He is.
a handful of sentences. I can't believe that today is the start to our forever. I never thought the boy I casually passed by in the halls of high school would soon be the one to complete the parts of me I never knew existed.
You are the most kind person I've ever met. Your love runs deep.
That has to be, Bobby, the line every groom says. Every one of them is always married the kindest person in the world. No one has ever married not. What if they were like, you're pretty kind.
Kindest person in their world.
You're pretty kind, but
I want to see these motorcycle shots. Find them for me.
what if
Jay,
they
please?
Yeah, I'm looking for them. But they were like, what if they were like, oh, there they are.
You're all right.
They were like, you are not as kind as my last girlfriend, but much prettier.
More elvish.
We jest. This couple seemed very sweet, by the way. I'm trying to find. I saw it. I don't know. Let's just play
I saw it briefly.
And help me turn them into a masterpiece. It is because of you that I know.
A lot of coverage here.
You have loved me on days when I could not do it for myself and reassured me it will always get better. I can't wait to see what our future with one another has in store.
Why don't we just talk while it's playing, and then we'll turn it up again for the hype stuff.
Okay.
So kind of, I would like to know your opinion specifically, Bobby, about the potentially, first of all, very cool. So there it is. There it is.
Yeah. We saw it. We've made it.
That's pretty dope. I wonder if we missed the whole other segment. But how do you feel about the way that the bridal party was presented at the beginning?
Oh, I think it was awesome.
That was fun.
I really liked it. I think it's really hard to. It's one of those things that it's not a filmmaker trait. I mean, obviously it is, right? If you're a filmmaker,
the level of posing they're doing in this is like good. It's so much. Anyway.
Well, and with the wedding party stuff, it's like it still it's like interesting. It's posed. It's unique, but it still feels natural. There's real movement and whatever. And so but getting a wedding, it's like getting a bride and groom to buy into more creative stuff is hard enough as it is. Getting a whole wedding party to buy in is like a unique skill set, and it takes the right people, it takes the right couple,
right wedding
the right
schedule,
day, the right timeline. Yeah, exactly. But that's like a huge
I would love to know, that was cool right
or
there.
Whatever I would give Max.
Was there no dance footage?
I didn't see any.
There's no open dance floor. I wonder what this day was.
dancers.
Okay, so let's just diagnose this a little bit. Let's talk about this as a film, and then let's talk about how we feel about the film. So there's a couple things that stand out to me. First of all,
also, FYI, in case it's important to you, you are solely on camera.
Oh, what
There's
happened
no
there?
Video up right now.
When did that happen? How
Don't
did I lean on the button? I apologize, guys. This is the motorcycle in case we were just talking by ourselves the whole time.
Oh, motorcycles love those things.
Regardless,
Sorry, go ahead.
So we have all this beautiful stuff at the beginning of the day of them hanging out, right? Which clearly took a lot of time. Like, that's what I'm looking at. Like, wow, there's a lot of portraits in this. And then I'm seeing that there's no reception. There's no reception. I wonder if it was just a unique schedule.
Well, okay, right off the bat, this certainly sounds or seems like a couple that is not the traditional couple, right? In a lot of ways. And one of those ways might be that if I have had couples in my career where what is most important to them is photo and video, and everything else be damned, they want to get awesome shots, they want to devote a bunch of time to photo and video, and they want to have a nice meal with their closest friends and family, and that's it. And so it might very well have been that, which is another thing where it's like, this is such a deeper layer, right? I talked about getting a wedding party to buy in and how difficult that can be and how that's, a huge accomplishment in this film. But it's also like knowing what you need for this film, right? Doing the having the right talk, asking the right questions.
There's some of a dance floor. There's a little bit.
Okay. All right. We saw a little bit. But to know hey, I need more of this kind of stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? I need to get more awesome shots with wedding party. Like we talked last week, Jay, about how neither of us really like wedding party shots very much. You know what I mean? So to know that they need them, to get good ones and to use them.
I would like wedding party shots if I had time like they did to do that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to have the right wedding party,
sure.
the silly olive shot and all that stuff. There's a lot of layers here. Here's what I will say. Let's talk about traditional, what we love, what we didn't love. And I apologize, guys, if we missed a lot of this film. So that's why I'm playing it in the background. Here's what I love. Amazing shooting, like always. Couples personality, incredibly popping off the screen. But not only that, they drew the wedding party into that couple's life. It did feel heartfelt too, even though that was very posy, a lot of very editorial kind of stuff, but also personal. And that's a huge compliment. If you can manage to pose someone, let them look beautiful and have that high polished look, but also feel natural. I think they accomplished that, and it was a lot of fun to watch too.
I think that's a huge thing, and something that I wrote down as well, which is like this difference between polished and posed. And we talked about that. We kind of dove into, I know in a recent one, about how we define posed. And I don't like the word posed because to me, I have negative connotations with it. But I think we're ultimately on the same page, just describing it differently, of like this highly polished editorial look that still feels real. And feels like the couple and doesn't feel like they're forced into something else.
Yeah.
So I love that. I also agree, really lean into the couple, agree with how part of leaning into the couple was the incorporation of their wedding party in the way that Max did that. And I also really liked some of these creative, like this one is just them walking, but they were a little more
like I like the olive
shots.
The olive with the grooms. That was funny.
Yeah, like some out of the box stuff. Even this stuff, right? Like I would never think to say, hey, okay, so for 5 minutes, I want you two to sit at this table, right?
Reach across from each other.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's interesting.
Well, I was watching this and I was looking at this and I'm like, this is kind of weird, right? Not really. Yeah. Like it didn't strike me as weird like, when I watched it, but when I think about it, it's like, that's a weird thing to do. But when you watch it, it feels good. And if you can take a couple and say, like, if I watch a pose and I think like, yeah, they seem like they would do that.
Yep.
Like that's the first, like they seem like they would do this.
Yeah. Seems totally natural.
Whether they would or wouldn't, like they look like they're engaging in a natural moment. Now, when you think about it for a second, you're like, why would they in their wedding dresses sit at this table together? That's clearly not natural. But that's the secret, right? Can you make someone do something that looks cool and beautiful and also doesn't make it look like they would never do that?
Yeah. So. All right. What about any areas that you think you would have done differently?
That camera right there, film, I would try to not have that in the shot.
Yeah.
But
we timed that, by the way. We said, okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. Ask the question.
Yeah, we've been stalling. One minor thing. I think this is actually the best film I've ever seen them do. There's a little minor lighting things and little situations, but there's so much content that you're bound to have some non-ideal situations. So I don't really knock them for that. The one minor thing I have is I probably would like to see a little more of the day. Like, and I do feel like in general with their films, they don't show really people outside of the wedding party very often.
Interesting.
And for me, I like to get a little more context, than just like this, like personal, these two people talking. That's just me. The one thing I do think that isn't just me is there's a lot of ideas in this film. I think maybe it could do with one less extra thing. Like, I think there's like one shot of Super 8.
Yeah.
In the middle. And I was like, it doesn't need that. It doesn't need like every single idea every time. I think like focusing down on what you did that's really good and just letting the film be a little simpler would give you a little more time, I think, to include more like establishing shots, more people in the day. Now, I still think this film is incredible. That's a minor critique, is like, could we have done with one less idea?
Yeah. So the only things that I wrote down, but then I kind of just thought of another thought, and I'll dive into that. But the only thing that I wrote down is I thought we sat on the intro, the first look, and them talking for a little bit too long. Like, I think it was cute. It was representative of the couple. I loved everything they said. I would
probably agree with that.
But like, I feel like I wish we would have gotten it, especially with such a unique and creative couple and creative film. Like, if you're sitting on that intro for 30 seconds or whatever, like, I would have rather, like, I want to see all of that, but I split it up or something so we can get into this creative edit a little bit more. And then it brings me to this other thought. And now, granted, we didn't watch the whole film, right? We watched 2 minutes-ish or so. We skipped around. We probably missed some stuff. But one of the things that I feel like, I don't know if there was like a payoff, right? In the like, what was the mountaintop moment? Was it them getting pronounced or a kiss? And I don't know. And I find it interesting to start with the first look like no build up or anything like that. And I don't think that's a wrong move or anything like that. But I oftentimes find myself using that first look, like that reveal, as a peak in the film. And so I wonder, or like a turning point in the film almost, or something like that. And so I wonder like what the like build up throughout the film, like what it built to. And that's, I think, again, because we skipped around and whatnot. But
I've seen the whole film, and I would agree that it's not a like very clear climax. And that to me was okay, but I understand what you're saying.
But yeah, I don't think it's me saying I would do it differently. I think it's more like it's not very often that we have a visual representation of that, and is it a problem is the question.
Well, so here's a question
and I don't
about
think it is with this film.
Here's the last question I'll ask you. Now, I like all that group photo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, in addition, like it's kind of my same point from earlier, but more specifically, like, okay, that's cool. You have a bunch of family, like group portraits of this bridal party. Do we need every single pose?
Well,
like every fun thing that they did.
Getting back to like what didn't happen in this day, right? Like, why did we include so much of that? Was it because they were unique, or was it to fill space because other things were missing?
Was there no toasts? Like, I don't recall seeing. I've watched the film a few times.
There was for sure one toast I saw. The guy was standing behind them at the table.
Honestly, some of it might just be their creative choice to.
Yeah, or to do something different. To say, hey,
they,
you know what? We had good toast. They'll get it in the speeches edit, and I want to do something different.
Well, and also, because I want this wedding more, and I don't like. I want to show what I want to grow. It's a bold choice. I would not tell them not to make the bold choice. I think it's a good choice. They're just minor critiques. It's hard for me to say.
They're at a point in their business where you can make that bold choice.
I think so too, and it's hard for me to say that they're bad or wrong, incorrect choices. They're just things that I would question.
Anything we brought up is black and white.
Yeah, these are just questions I have. So good job, Max. Love this film, man.
Yeah,
getting better all the time. I like it when I have someone on the podcast and then they keep making good work and I'm not ashamed of them. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Opposed to the alternative.
I mean,
they tank their career.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Who we got next?
We got Ryan Rushing.
Is that the
Heartbeat Films?
Do I have the right?
That's what I got next.
Oh yeah. This is. I think.
And Ryan says this is a film we shot about a year ago on 2 A7S3s and 2 A7 III. Actually made a full BTS video. Would love if you guys could plug this on the live stream. I don't know if we're gonna plug your BTS.
Yeah, I think plug our
like
BTS on your BTS.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug my own BTS over your film.
We make BTSs on wedding films. They'll show you how to make a film similar to this one.
But with that said, that's all we got, I think. So
here we go. What is sure to be the greatest film ever made
of all time, forever and ever.
We're here today to celebrate Cassie and Tyler joining hands in marriage. We're here to laugh with them. We're here to cry with them. But most of all, we're here to wish them well as they begin their new life.
I don't think there was ever a time since I've known you guys that I didn't think that we would be here today.
The two of you really balance each other out and make an amazing team. Here's to wonderful and beautiful memories.
Where is this? Did he say location?
I don't think so. And I think his domain is .tv, so it could be anywhere in the world. But if you want me to dive in and do some...
It sounds southern. So.
New Orleans, Baton Rouge is where they're based.
Is that a fake? Was that a fake click?
I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was writing my notes.
I love statistics. And we...
Okay, I'm going to move forward. Yeah. Let's be clear, though. She loves statistics.
Statistically, we are moving 30%.
rooftop ceremony. That's fun. that flower girl looks terrified. Look at I'm a softie, man.
Do you take Cassie to be your lawfully wedded wife from this day forward, to have and to hold in good times and bad, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health?
All right, here we go.
Met for the first time at a mutual friend, Tyler and Mine's wedding. I'd seen pictures before of Cassie, right? I knew what she looked like, and I remember seeing her for the first time. And I remember thinking to myself, Tyler is so far out of her league. What is he thinking? No, seriously, I think you guys both struck gold with one another. Cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Tyler Crouch.
What did that guy just say? Did he just
I don't know if he
misspeak?
screwed up or he's joking or he got his words mixed or whatever, but I think he said the groom, his buddy, is way out of her league.
I wonder if that...
Nice to have the guys back you up, right?
Every so often. I mean, let's be honest. Most time we're just humiliating men 24/7 nowadays, so...
You know Tyler, you know that he is just a little bit competitive. And phase 10 cannot be allowed in their house. We remember the love that we have and the fun times that we have, and that just brings a little bit more of our relationship out.
Yes.
I'm feeling good. Getting better. I'm feeling good. I can't let it go. I'm feeling good. 'Cause I never say never. 'Cause I found my place where I'm always feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Okay, let's see what we got for the ending. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff.
Tyler Crouch.
You don't get to redo that one.
Oh, I don't like that they cut away. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I don't like those final cuts.
Yeah, that was
handled.
There's either a mistake, some issue, or I don't like the editing choice. All right.
I think he's in chat or
Great.
she. I can't remember. I think it's a he.
All right.
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm assuming we have the right film, by the way.
I saw a title.
Yeah.
I think. I'm curious, Ryan, did you what was I gonna say? Did you light the confetti, or was that like under street lights or lights that were already there? You can just let us know in comments.
Okay. What did you like about the film?
So I always feel like, okay, well, a couple things. One, I think there is some good use of light. You saw it in that like flat lay shot looked really nice. I think some of the intro, especially, but certain other shots too, of the couple, like you're using light well. It looks interesting. There's a couple prep shots where the light was used well. Got this nice flare there, stuff like that. I also think that you handled the rooftop ceremony, which is cool and fun and unique, but as somebody who's done a handful, I know that they can be difficult in some ways. Like you're kind of just at the mercy, right? And similar with like an outdoor ceremony too, but like I think that it looked really nice and consistent and good. And that's not always possible. And lastly, and this is something I always love having a film like this, because what I would say is always, this is, or you've heard me say it before rather, is this is a standard, very repeatable, very marketable, like, I don't want to say,
No,
I don't know your other films,
well, this
but
is what I would say is this is entry level, like, not luxury. but entry level. It's like getting into that level where you're moving into like the wedding industry, right? Like it's not like the wedding where they paying you $1,500 and you go on their house and they have like a couple friends.
Yeah,
over. Like this is a professional wedding.
Build a business around
Yes.
exactly where you can. Like this is the type of film. There's nothing extreme. There's nothing super out of the box, right? But it's
they're
just
following
solid
a
across
very
the board.
tight timeline. You can tell it's very
Yep,
structured.
Exactly. This is something where you could build. I don't know if you have teams or not, but you could build teams around this. Tell them exactly how to shoot, what to shoot. You can make this film over and over and over again, and
because they will have this wedding there'll be multiple of them every weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. I would agree.
So yeah, really.
That was
solid.
like actually
then,
one of the first things I thought in my head was exactly that.
Yeah. And then like good choices in, so like he says that he did light. Well, he says that the street light drowned it out. So I don't know how much of that light was street light versus his light, but like good choices and stuff like that throughout. So
I love that, man. It's not that they did anything good or bad with it, but I love that pink sunset there again. That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, for me,
you got anything to add?
Yeah, you know, like I don't want to. I have actually like. I don't have a ton of criticism for this one either. To me, like what you said was very much what it is. And this is like, I'm not insulting this couple or their wedding day at all. This is definitely nicer than my wedding, by the way. So what I am going to say is like, they didn't give you a ton to work with. Like you don't have a bunch of these epic florals. You don't have multiple locations. Like, that's really cool. But in general, you're just like, and I think you shot it in a way that would give it some, like, it felt true and accurate, and they're going to love it. I think the stories you included were good. And that's like you said, that rooftop ceremony, that could be a little challenging. I think you got lucky with the light.
Yeah.
Because it looks great. And I also think like, it looks like this isn't a good or bad thing, but like that dance floor, it's weird because it was super active, but there was like no one at the wedding.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that.
I have good and bad feelings on it, but I would say, like you found some moments that gave it life.
Yeah. What do you think about? What do you think about? I just have this gut feeling that this is a really. I don't know if the day or the timeline was stressed or complicated, but I have a feeling that this venue was complicated. Like it looks nice inside, outside, but it looks like it doesn't really have that much to offer. And
I'm trying to see it in the skyline right there. Like
there's not anywhere really to go. Like.
Honestly, that's all I could think about when I was watching. I just kept mapping it in my brain. Like I'd be like, okay, is that left or right? Like, it looks to me like they got married in the same exact space. So if he's in chat, I'd love to know if they got married in the same space and they just flipped it.
Yeah, that rooftop. That seems to be where
that's the same space
is for sure. Yeah,
it's the same space. So I think I
think to be able to make a film with a really like venue plays a huge role, and if there's not a lot to work with and it's just repeated stuff over and over, that can be really tough.
I tell my team all the time, I say venue is a character, location is a character. Like any good filmmaker will like make, you watch Rocky, right? Philadelphia is a character in Rocky. Like the venue is a character if it doesn't give you much to work with. So anyway, let's talk about some things we think they can improve with. I will say, as much as we're saying they did a good job, I do think they could have obscured, as much as I like the clips that they got with the dance floor, I felt like they should have made different lens choices because they should have made it feel more packed. They should have gotten closer.
Very similar thing written down.
It just didn't. And then like, this is, I need to think of a nicer way to say this because it's like comes across as a little rude. It was kind of boring to me. Like I was just watching the film and I was just kind of like, it just wasn't grabbing.
That's because
me.
we made him follow a Max Smith film. That's
That-
on us.
Well, it's. I mean, I shoot these weddings
I know
all the
what you're
time.
saying. Yeah,
Like
it's just-
I know like one where like I know how to give it life. Like, and I felt like
Yeah.
it just was like lacking some personality.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And so that's why I don't want to offer criticism, because I don't want to say like there's nothing wrong with the couple. There's nothing wrong with, I don't know what he could have done. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like, sometimes a good critique is to say like, I'm feeling this way, not here was the problem.
Yeah, I don't have the answer for you, but here's the way I feel. Also, maybe important note, he wrote in chat that it was about 20 people max.
Yeah,
So
that's challenging.
I think we felt that. And
Yeah.
I don't know that I have an answer for you there either, or a solution.
Well, I'll
but
tell you
think
what
we
I might
felt
have
that.
done. If I had 20 people at a wedding, and you tell me what you would have done, because I think it's interesting. If I had this wedding, I would not shoot anything wider than a 50 mil, probably after the ceremony. I wouldn't want the full context.
Anything where I didn't have total control.
Yeah, I would be shooting very shallow depth of field all day. Because I would want to make it feel tight. I would also, I might even speak to the planner and say, hey, can we have everyone stand here during the dances? Just create moments throughout the day. Because I think when you have 20 people, you can be there's more time. What would you do to kind of maybe?
Yeah, I'm similar just in that, like, it's good for us to know that, I think, because it does put it in perspective. I think a lot of your tighter shots here, they work. Like, that works, what we're seeing. But then you have these wider shots, too, where you're, like,
This looks
pushing
great.
in, and you can see the outsides of the group dancing, and you can see there's nobody else around.
Yeah, with the prism,
And
I love
so
that prism
a lot
stuff.
of this stuff, yeah, prism, a lot of this close stuff. And then I would just stick to that is what I would have done, really.
Yeah, and I would probably put less in the film, and I probably would have tried
because of that.
I probably would have tried to see if the couple would have done something outside at night.
It's rare that I do that, but I love to do it when I can.
Yeah,
The only other things that I wrote. Oh, sorry. Go ahead if you had.
Well, I was just gonna say, there was a lot of shots of people making strange faces, which I'm like very sensitive to, like dance footage, like when someone's like making a really drunk face. I like that shot right there. I don't include that. Like, I think like there's a few parts where the groom's like looking like right there. I wouldn't have included that. I think just kind of not including unflattering things that people are doing with their faces. I just had one the other day I was editing and I had to go in and be like, not that one, not that one, not that one. We can't have that. We can't have like anything where the guy's like I just like, that was a minor thing. But anyway, what about you? And this ending, but I'll save the ending for you.
Yeah, so I guess let's go right into the ending. I agree. I didn't like cutting away from it. I thought that's a shot you let breathe. Show the shot from behind with all the confetti, and then show the shot from the front that we just saw like 10 seconds ago or whatever. I think. Yeah, I would have let that breathe a little bit better because I think it's a really cool shot. It looks really great.
The
and
light's
it's
too
great,
close
like,
too, by the way.
culminating. Well, they said it's a street light mostly.
No, but he should have just took it in. He should have backlit it, not frontlit it.
Oh, he has a light in the back. You can see it there.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not a
then-
big deal, but
Yeah, the only other things that I would say is two things. One, outside of this city shot and even this city shot a little bit, I don't really love the drone stuff. The city shot sets the tone. I think that's nothing really wrong with the shot. Just I think the city doesn't.
you're telling me Baton Rouge doesn't have a beautiful
Well,
skyline?
just like doesn't stand out. It's just whatever. But I get again the city shot not so much. I don't really care so much. Like that one is kind of excluded here. The rest of the drone shots, I don't know if I would use them. Like if they paid for them and you have to, maybe. But like I know there's a shot of like just water with like shipping containers in it. I'm just like meh. They're not bad. They're just whatever. I don't think they're
I
adding
would
much.
probably include it because of the 20 people.
True. Like the bridge is cool, I guess. I don't know. I just think
I would have
nothing with
shot
the
a
drone
lot
stuff,
more
like, wowed
B-roll.
me.
I would have shot
Yeah.
a lot more B-roll. I think that is another thing. Anyway.
And the only other thing that I would have done, a little differently. Or the only thing that I feel personally, and this is a me thing a little bit, you know, I've pointed stuff out like this before, and I've also said, like, I know this is me to some extent. I felt like too much of this, especially the couple stuff, like it was all slowed down to 40%.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it felt boring.
Yeah, and I think it drags because of that. I would have done more stuff in real time. I think there's a time and a place for slow motion, but I don't think it's something to just lean on indefinitely.
I think as a filmmaking skill and a storytelling skill, especially with weddings, you need to know what is a day I need to add life and what is a day I just take life from what's there. Like you show up.
Day I take life away.
I take life away. I extract life. But like there are days you show up, you point your camera, and you let the wedding happen, and it gives you that action. And then there are days where you're like, okay, I got like this is a great day for the couple, but I need to do I need to pivot a little to give the film movement and momentum. Yeah. And I would say one of the things that would make this a little better is exactly what you said, a little less slow-mo.
Yeah, which he is saying in chat, because I think they had said this was a year ago. So he says that he actually is using less slow-mo these days, which, again, it's not a bad thing.
This is by no means a bad film, by the way.
Very solid.
I think it's actually challenging.
It's the perfect film to, like, really dive into because there's a lot to talk about. And, again, there's very little, like, we're not just saying, like, I don't think there's very much that we talked about that wasn't opinion-based, right? It's not like, hey, all your highlights are blown out. Hey, your skin tones are all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I'm not
really solid.
I'm not crazy about the color grade, but I don't think it's terrible either. It's not bad. It's just not my preference. It's
all right. Well, we've done
Ryan
Rushing the disservice of sandwiching him between Max Smith and the Drakes. So, sorry, Ryan.
But this is a drone shot you use.
Yeah, this is probably.
That's Brooklyn, isn't it?
I don't know that this is a legal shot unless you're buying this stock.
If you know Eugene.
I don't think he cares, so.
Eugene's actually coming.
At some point, my camera's going to die because apparently my charger is not charging again. So FYI.
I'm going to give you the deets of this day while he's doing that. So, all right. So this is the Drakes, fashionista couple celebrating love and success at the iconic Wayland in New York City. You know what? I'm gonna fix this. I can't stand when I do this, so I'm gonna turn on the wrapping. All right. One of a kind New Year's Eve celebration, go big or go home, is what Sophia and Adam had in mind. They definitely know how to throw a party. We used Canon R system cameras. We felt great about how to open the couple was to creating unique things with the whole experience within an experience. The difficulties that any other New York City Italian wedding can have, plus the fact that it was raining on New Year's Eve. I don't remember this year's New Year's Eve, to be honest. So, up in the Northeast. But here we go. Here is the film right here from The Drakes.
Sitting in an open-sided tent in the pitch black of the Serengeti wilderness.
I was taken by
yeah,
the
okay.
moon, looking down on everything I never knew.
The night was silent.
I'm awakened by the truth that only for a moment I'm alive with you.
Standard.
Tears
Garbage
on your face.
Let's just get into what we hate about it.
Yeah, can we just turn this off?
Stupid, horrible crap.
This makes me want to quit.
Don't cry, Sophia. Your life will be beautiful.
Don't cry for me, Sophia.
And they were right. Your life is beautiful now. But it's beautiful because you determined to make it so. You treasured your friendships, and then love found you. Your big open heart met another big open heart, Adams.
Falling feels like
have to explain the special bond between Sophia and Adam, and it's quantum physics. Okay, you know, the study of energy at its most fundamental level. Objects can be in two places at once. You see where I'm going? But then Sophia says, Dad.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
The life of the party, the biggest fashionista.
There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play, where the whiskey's falling like the river.
No offense to anyone in the whole world. I hate that word, fashionista. I don't know why. Every time I hear it, I'm always like, it's like, ugh.
Benjamin telling me not to cry. I thought I was hiding it. I thought I was keeping it in.
Yeah. Everyone uses that word, by the way.
Fashionista.
It just triggers me.
However, one thing is for sure, we definitely all know Sophia as the absolute loudest person in the room.
Luckily, Adam compliments how weird and crazy you are, Soph. And he also compliments how caring, devoted, and genuine you are. There's truly no one like the two of you, Sophia and Adam, and that's why I love you guys, and why you guys love each other.
People say opposites attract, but I think it's actually Sophia and Adam's similarities that make their relationship so special. They're two of a kind, and they bring out the best in each other.
I'm just watching this, by the way.
We talked about the day they met and how Adam remembers seeing Sophia for the first time and feeling an immediate connection, like he's known her his entire life.
It was like the whole room stopped, and both of their lives, before they knew it, would change.
We spoke about how much he loves that Sophia is her genuine self, how much he appreciates her carefree demeanor, and that he can be his true self around her. We spoke about how he's grown as a person because of Sophia.
Adam, Sophia said that she loves how ambitious, industrious, and determined you are to build a quote-unquote big life together.
7 years later, and here we are at this beautiful venue with all their closest friends and family.
I, Adam, take you, Sophia, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
To have and to hold.
Something's weird about that ceremony footage.
There's it looks like they have like two main cameras and then like a third that keeps popping.
Or
in
like
and
some
stands out a
rando
little bit.
person who's helping them out who did not actually help them.
He took the life from them
For
instead.
richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
How much
until
much
death
longer
do us
is
part.
in this film?
A minute.
Sophia and Adam.
I just want to get to
to
this because I
light,
know they.
To love, Lafayette.
I've seen this duo take over the dance floor on more than one night out.
All right, so let's talk. What do you love about the film?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those films where we watch it and I just want to watch it, right? I like the creativity. I like, especially, I mean, throughout the film, but especially in the beginning, there's some really, really nice shots, really good use of foreground, really good use of camera movement and stuff like that. Obviously, a beautiful wedding and captured well. Also, I think another great example of really like leaning into a couple and their personality and representing them well. And like, it's just like, this film is just a vibe, right? It's different. It's out of the box. But it's fitting of who they are. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Great shooting. A lot of good ideas, which I might bring up on the other end as well. A lot of good ideas. And of course, like, Eugene and the Drakes, I think when they capture weddings, they're very focused on experiential kind of like their part. It seems they're almost part of the wedding. Knowing Eugene's personality too, he's bringing that to the table, and I think that is cool, and it really I think adds a vibe to the film. I like his choice of lenses a lot of the times with the wide lens in those environments. Honestly, the city, like walking with him stuff was really inspired and good. I like this stuff a lot with the spotlight.
Yeah.
There's so many good ideas in the film, and obviously he's a great editor, so the editing is also really solid, and
Agreed.
all that. So let's talk about something. I mean, Eugene is great. So let's talk about some things that we think could be improved. I'll go first.
Okay.
First of all, there's weird green skin tones. Like skin tones are jumping around, and sometimes they're just like really green. Other times they're like this, perfect and beautiful. And like I get these people, olive-skinned Italian people, and like that's there's nothing like that's beautiful. You want it to look natural, but sometimes it'd be magenta like that, and sometimes it'd be green, and sometimes I think the other camera and just different situations. Like my guess would be he got a local person. This is why I don't let them use their cameras. So this is my tip to you: buy another camera, hand it to the person, make them shoot your system. I think it's a mixed bag. Whoever did it didn't do you favors. I think it brought the film down. And then the last thing I was going to say is I just find there's entirely too many cuts, especially once you get to that.
I'm going to have a comment on that.
You get to the slow stuff, and I was starting to feel not just cuts, but movement. Like I was feeling a little like seasick.
Yeah.
Like it just like it's too stylized for me.
Yeah. So I would say two things. One, I noticed some of that skin tone stuff, and I think I mostly noticed it with that other camera that we think exists. And so I agree with that. And then the other thing is, and this is actually right where we're seeing it, I agree with the cuts and the movement. And I actually really like it in most of the film. And where I noticed it most and where it started to pop up in my brain and for me to say, something feels off here was this. We have this reset to the new day. I think we show a drone shot again. We show the groom with his watch, and it's slow music. And the cuts are the exact same pace as what we've been at for the most part, roughly.
Yes.
And so I think that I think there's a mismatch there, which is a little bit like combative as the viewer or something like that. I don't know how to describe.
Well,
it.
I think it's narratively.
Well, it's just not matching.
It's not giving you
the feel. But I think as the viewer, what it's also not doing is there's a moment like we can't be at 100% 100% of the time.
That's what I was saying.
And I think you lose some of your impact of those higher parts by not giving the viewer some reprieve. That's what I would
100%.
say.
I think from a story structure standpoint, and honestly, like I think it works for Eugene, but it is my personal feeling on a lot of their films that I just want them to like, whoa, slow down a little bit. Like, let me connect.
Even for like 20 seconds. Like, give me that
give me like
emotion,
a minute.
Give me that down, that minimal, to let me collect my thoughts and be like, whoa, this is beautiful. And this couple, wow, he's crying at the altar. He's clapping for her. She's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. They're so in love, whatever. And then hit me right back, like ramp up to 100 again. And I think you'd have more impact that way.
One related question I had for you is, did you feel like the intro, like, because it was a double intro, and it almost was
kind of like multiple. It's kind of like 3 or 4.
It was long though.
Films or something.
Like it was like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes into the film, we're bringing up more titles, and I was
I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to comment, but I do remember.
It was like the
New York intro, and then we had like another. Like,
it's right here.
The titles and being like, "Oh, whoa, we're like 4 minutes in, we're getting a title card," which I don't think that's wrong. It's not inherently wrong.
Well, it's only wrong if that like, in that the begin. It's not wrong. But I would say it makes me feel this way.
Yeah.
because I was like on the edge of my seat for 3 straight minutes waiting for the relief. And then when the relief came, like you were saying, and the pace slowed down, I was relieved. I was like, oh, nice. Okay, we're going to settle in a little bit. And I knew we were going to explode again, which is great. But then it just was like, phoo, 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 phoo.
Yeah.
And then I started noticing the fact that every single handheld shot was moving.
Yeah.
And there was moving. And so it seems like we're ripping into this, by the way. This is an incredibly good film. This is just our preference and what we're thinking and how we see it. So very good film.
Yeah. Yeah. Super unique. Love it. All right. Moving on.
Cool.
We've got Isaiah Thomas from Weddings by Isaiah. Nothing specifically notable. Didn't capture as much as I would have liked, but did the best with what I did. And made some mistakes. Yeah.
Cool. Let's look at, and this is the last film, and then I'm going to do that person's teaser. And we're going to do this one for
more if we have time. If we want to.
Yep.
Probably.
How you guys doing today? If you don't mind dropping a like, by the way, that would be awesome. And also go check out and subscribe to the Wedding Film School show. And all our other crap that we're doing. TikTok, YouTube.
All that terrible stuff we put
that
out.
garbage.
All that super not useful content we make.
Not useful, free content. Here we go. This film was nothing specifically notable. Didn't capture as much as I would have liked, but did the best with what I did. Like you said, made some mistakes. So let's try to find the mistakes, huh? Let's rip this. Let's kill this person. Not really.
We're getting banned.
What a beautiful occasion it is when two people decide that they want to be married.
I wonder if this is Destination. Or Florida. Could just be Florida.
The love of my life. Nothing's hard, everything is easy.
Okay, let's move forward a little bit. Check out the ceremony.
Everything is easy with you around. No bombas, everything is easy. Please help me welcome the bridal party.
What did that DJ have those people do?
I don't know.
Why would you make people do that? Walk in and just clap. Like, I will never understand the way these people think. Yeah, I'm a pretty cool person. I'm a pretty cool dresser. Yeah, screw that. Just walk in clapping like a nerd. Like. Yo, that photographer is everywhere. That photographer.
I think there's 2 of them.
And they have like 100 lights set up and like, oh, come on. Like, that's brutal. Okay. So, sorry, I'm getting a call from UR Refund LLC. So
that sounds real.
Yeah, that's probably a phone call I want to take. All right. So this is, I think, clearly a newer filmmaker. So let's kind of assume that and give them a review based on, I think, where they are, which is pretty new in their career.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So this is me being honest. There's really not a lot I like about this film. I don't like it.
It's weird. I feel odd saying the same things. I know we try not to do that, but there's not a lot that I think worked well. And there's definitely some stuff that I would change for sure. But I think it's weird because sometimes we have these films that are really, really rough. And there's certainly aspects of that, but there are aspects of this that are like close to being like good or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's some areas where I feel like they're closer than somebody.
No, this is what I'll say to their credit. This person will love this film. They got all the things, and that is not a small thing. They got all the moments.
And they probably got what they paid for.
They freaking hustled. I can tell this person worked hard. And I can tell, like, so I'm not trying to insult them. I'm just saying, like, their camera, their knowledge of filmmaking isn't where it needs to be, I think, to make a great film. And so every shot to me, like literally every shot, I'm looking at it going like, oh, that color is so weird. Like there's just something
there's some color all over the place.
Off about
also,
it.
I think just like
so wide.
A lot of editing choices too.
Yeah, like the lens choices, like just like including 18 shots of this bridal entrance. Like I feel like it just feels a little like unsophisticated. And then there's just like tons of camera stuff in the background and
I think it's, to me, I mean, it like we said, I think it feels like somebody who's newer.
Yep.
And maybe not even just newer, I mean, probably both, newer to filmmaking or whatever, but especially newer to weddings. And what we find a lot with that is not knowing what you need for a film. I think that's apparent here in some ways. Not knowing how to shoot for the edit that you're going to make, I think is apparent in some ways. And then also just like not taking control probably is one of the things that's missing. And I think there are a lot of these moments where and not to take control, right? It's the bride and groom's day. There's the photographer. There's other people involved, but like
lasers going off during the cake cutting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would never allow lasers to go off during the cake cutting. I'd be like, turn those off. Like, so let's talk about the things that we think they should do right away. I think the first thing they need to do is most likely, I think, upgrade their cameras. I know that seems like a stupid thing, but I'm just like, look at the food in the foreground. Anyway, I think that maybe you could get away with not doing that if I think you do the most important thing, which is I think that they're running on like a kit lens or something. Like they don't have the right lenses to shoot weddings.
Yeah.
And then I think don't do the cross dissolve time progression
over and over.
Like you don't need to show like every moment in a linear way. Like them walking down the aisle, it's like the back of their head and it transitions 4 different cuts.
Yeah.
You don't need to show
I think that I actually don't think that you need to upgrade your camera.
Maybe not.
I mean, I don't know what you're shooting on. I don't even know if we have that information.
Definitely lenses though, right?
I think an upgrade at the lens would be more important to you. But I think more than that, what I would do is I personally would not take on any other weddings for like a year on your own. And I would second shoot with somebody. Because I think you need to learn weddings. And I think you need to learn how to shoot weddings. And I think you need to learn how to shoot for a wedding edit. And I think you would get a lot. Like, yes, there are some color issues, some exposure issues, whatever. But it's not like every single thing is like blown out, terrible, unusable.
No.
Like, it's a lot of just like 50, like, it's a lot of just like, not even poor choices, but just the wrong choices.
Well, let's talk about a specific
sequence.
sequence.
Mentorship would be helpful.
Yeah, let's talk about a specific sequence. This sequence right here really bothered me.
It was the first time I think we saw the time passage cross dissolve, and that's just
like look right here. First of all, this shot. Why is this in the film at all? And then you see in the mirror, right?
You can see the photographer.
Watch them they like their faces transport.
It's way too wide.
You see this door. All I can look at is that American flag on the door, and it's just not the right thing. And then you see this right here, this part of the sequence. fade to black. Why? And then she's out of focus. And why don't we have like, that should be like 70 mil.
Yeah.
That should be tight.
Yeah, it's a lot of either gear restraint or the wrong choice.
Storytelling,
Again,
like you're just not really like, what am I trying to do here? And I think that's lit too, which I would not light. I would not light that.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's a light or if that's from a window. It looked like a light to me.
It looks like a light because look at the fall off in the top right corner.
Yeah.
It's blue. That's the like natural light. And then you can see like the light is actually not even directly on her face. It's like low, like on her arm.
Which is odd because I don't think other points were really lit.
This is kind of why I think they might need a better camera, because I think they might have some noise issues and they're trying to compensate. But
could be.
Anyway, this sequence right here to me is, if you were with someone more experienced, they would first of all help you cover this better, and if it was covered better, you would edit it better. And like you don't need to just take every moment. Like we don't need this to like keep going.
Yeah.
Like I will show like one shot.
If you don't have the right shots, you can't make, like if you make the wrong decisions in shooting, you can't make the right decisions in editing in some ways, right?
Yeah, like why are we showing these people like
yourself the whole way down,
holding solo cups with a blown out window? Like why are we showing that? Like, or this girl, who is this person? Why is she holding a wrap? You know, it's like I think at the end of the day, it's like why do you show that guy like that shot right there? Not to insult this guy at all. I don't think he looks his best. Standing there unsure, looking around, nervous. Like these are things that like exactly, Bobby. If you're with a more experienced person, they'd be like, don't put it that like we're not gonna do that.
I think that'd be huge for this shooter to go or I mean if you got paid $1,000 for this or whatever, and you have another one booked, spend that $1,000 and bring in a really solid shooter who has more experience. Like just learn under somebody, because that's going to accelerate that learning.
Even this shot right here, why is this in there?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that. So I think like what you choose to include and not include in a film is what makes the films special. And anyway, so
is this Indecision, is this your film? Just because it sounds like it is based on what you said. But your username doesn't match with the name you submitted under.
If it is,
if it is, let us know if there's anything you want us to expand on that, or anything that you think would be helpful.
And the last thing I want you to do is feel discouraged, because my guess would be the couple love this. And
that's one of the nice things. Jay, I feel like that's something that I like. Obviously, I didn't learn, but I really lean into like in the last handful of years, where I'm like, there's this safety net a lot of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there might be things they don't like and things you might have to change or whatever, but like there's this safety net that ultimately it's their wedding and they're probably going to love it.
100%. And also that at the end of the day, that actually is your job.
Yep.
So your job is not to impress us. Your job is to impress them. I think they would be more impressed if it was better. And I think you could have made a better film if you had more experience. But that being said, I don't think they're going to watch this film and think like, what a terrible job. And some people actually, that does happen.
Yep.
Some people just make a terrible wedding film. This is not like one of those films. It's not that. So I would say I give you credit and I really appreciate the submission. So I told you guys, if you waited, is he still in chat? Or he or she or they? Are you in chat, New Odyssey? Because I'm going to review your film. All right, let's do one last film. And then if you guys don't mind, before we close up, if you don't mind dropping a like, and that would be awesome. So you ready for this?
Also, if we did not get to your film, go ahead and submit again, and then we can get to it next week. Or maybe we'll remember and pull from who we didn't do this week. But easier if you submit again.
Here we go.
You can do that starting now. Here we go. Teaser. Cool tattoo.
Yes, I do like that tattoo. It's stylish. Where did my mouse go?
It's gone.
Dual screens, and so the mouse will just be gone. So here we go. Oh.
Where did my audio go?
Well, no, it's my fault. Well, kind of my fault. It was YouTube's fault.
Love is an adventure and a conquest. It survives and develops like the universe itself. Only
that really the
by
beginning?
Discovery. The only right love is
Teaser,
between
maybe,
couples whose passion leads them both, one through the other.
You gotta tell me, did you record that audio yourself? What is that audio? Where did that
Tell
come
us. What is the source of that
from?
audio?
Your camera died, by the way, Bobby. Do you want me to wait?
Ah!
Let me wait for Bobby
Hold
to
on.
get back because it's only
Okay.
a minute, so I want him to see the film. So I'll just stall. Hi guys, how you doing? Just want to let you know, you're great. You can make wedding films that are just better than anyone's. You have everything in you that you need to make the perfect wedding film. All you need to do is subscribe to my podcast and sign up for my masterclass and just kind of, just be soaking in all the knowledge we have, and you're going to unlock greatness inside of your life. And it looks like Bobby's back. So that's all I got to say about that, Bobby. I don't know if you heard my speech, but it was pretty good. Pretty good speech. Bobby, it's on. Just come and sit in your seat. How far away is your battery? Bro. I'm sorry, guys. I have to deal with this guy. All right, Bob. You're back. Here we go. So that was
All
weird.
right, if I get the pop-up that says I'm using a third-party battery, sorry. I'll fix it.
That's cool. This that was kind of like, that was really abrupt though. So I went back to the beginning just to see if I missed something.
Yeah.
Nope,
Love is an
just doesn't.
adventure and a conquest. It survives and develops like the universe itself, only by perpetual discovery. The only right love is between couples whose passion leads them both, one through the other, to a higher possession of their being. Put your faith in the spirit which dwells between the two of you.
Oh my gosh. You're so beautiful. I promise to help and support you through the hard times and cherish all the good times. I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with you and chase you down the trails of life. I love you so much.
As your wife, I promise to love you with the same strength, determination, and confidence you've given me. I promise to commit myself to you, our family, and our goals for the rest of my life. Can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
Okay, so there we go. That's the teaser. All right. What do we like about it? What do we
I think granted, this is a teaser, right? So I think it's very little to go off of. One of the things that I liked, and I don't always like it, is I feel like I like some of the there's some raw, because of the camera movement, there's some moments that feel very raw and real, and I like that. Yeah, I think that's the number one thing that I liked about this, was some of the camera movement.
I think I could tell that there's good portraits in there, first of all.
Yeah.
Good portrait work. I don't think it's really represented as well in the teaser.
I would agree.
I honestly want to tell you, I think your shooting is better than your editing.
Slow down.
Yeah, honestly, I think I also was going to say, I really like a lot of the open dance floor. That's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
It really adds so much to a film because it's so different than the way you shoot on a wedding. And it allows you to get so much more energy. And I could tell, this person was really comfortable in that setting. There's also, some good foreground shots. There's a lot of, really nice shooting in this film. Yeah, I mean, that's a really nice little sequence. I'm watching the film, and this is what I'll say. My biggest critique of the film is that the editing and the music are just not there, because I'm watching the film without the music, and I think it's better than when I watched it with the music.
I would agree. Some editing choices. The only shooting difference I really have is, or the shooting critique I have is, I think there's some exposure issues
Yep.
There's definitely some stuff that works well and looks nice.
Like,
but
well,
there's
that's
definitely some stuff
overexposed.
blown
The
out.
building there. That's
blown
out of focus. Like,
but I do think there's some differences to be made in the edit itself. And I think I agree with you. It's like, this looks better to me without the music. So I don't know if it's a mismatch or the editing doesn't.
that was weird too. Look at the color
work.
difference here to here.
Yeah.
It's like, look at this guy's
The
skin.
edit. I also think there's too much audio. There's audio the whole time. And I think that's detracting from like this epic music that you can't really build around because you're never really fully leaning into the music, and the tone of the first reading part didn't align with me, I feel like, in the feel of the edit and the music. So I think there's just some like mismatches along the way there, in my opinion.
I don't think that is just a totally wrong song for this wedding and this couple.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, just kind of a mismatch.
I think
there.
if you're gonna have someone read that, I would have probably shown them, first of all, because I thought it was just no offense to the person reading it,
voiceover or something.
I thought it was like somebody read a voiceover poorly. I was like, why did they include that? I honestly thought the filmmaker recorded it. And it didn't sound like a person who had a lot of intentionality with what they're saying. Now, if you showed me the person reading it, I would have given it a lot more grace. I would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's a person at their wedding, right? I do want to show one quick thing because this drives me nuts. Like, look at his skin and how gray it is, and then look at cutback. Like, here, gray, very same sequence. Look how red it is. When you have two cameras that are that mismatched, it is very jarring. They're like not even on the same exposure. They're like I would say that's a thing to work on, is like making sure your cameras play nice together. And then I think just honestly, you should try this with a different song. And if you really want to include,
I think you went too epic, too
epic,
fast,
too epic
for this couple and this day.
If you would have paid somebody on Fiverr $100 to read that same poem in the right tone of voice, maybe you could get away with that song. I would have also gotten rid of a lot of the other audio. I would have made that piece. And then this right here was my biggest critique. This is not a frame that you should be sitting on for the longest frame in your film.
Yeah, it's not a super great shot, and also you can't see your logo or your text. Or your
well, and
font
it's also just like, it's not centered. Like, it's just so many things
moving.
about it that I'm just like, nah, that's not it. So, it's not by any means horrible at all. Like, I can tell this is going to be...
it serves its purpose, right?
Mhm.
You sent this to them 2 days later or a week or two later, whatever. I'm sure they're hyped and amped to see the full film, and it's a cool teaser, and they get to relive a little moment of their day, and
I like concepts
it
too.
serves its purpose.
I honestly think this filmmaker, if they were refine their palette a little bit, do some really dope work. Like, I think I love that they
a
went,
lot of the like skill set is there.
they went for it too, and they took a little bit of a risk. I like all of that stuff. Like, this is nothing like they're like, not to rip on The Last Guy. I feel like that film is borderline not ready for professional. This is very professional. This is a very professional, solid film. I just think it needs a little je ne sais quoi,
some tweaks,
like a little refinement, right? So solid though.
Totally.
By the way, Max, we had the whole entire film playing over us talking, so I saw all your motorcycle crap. So grow up, bro. Maybe you missed my
next
live
time we're gonna delete all your
maybe you
motorcycle
missed the best part of
sequences.
my live stream.
Then what? Ooh.
So
a war has begun.
No, and I would say this, New Odyssey. He said, I'll go back to the drawing board. I don't believe you should go back to the drawing board.
No. We're talking about next time.
Even with this film, like, I don't think it needs to be totally reworked. I just think pick a different song. I think you would be fine. And maybe clean up some color. Pick a different song, and maybe just show that person giving the toast. I think you're anyway, Really good.
I
though.
gotta go watch Black Mirror. I knew that was coming out. Was
Nice.
it good, John? Let me know.
So Bobby,
with that,
are you shooting this weekend?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Me too.
Yeah.
Guys,
Should be a good one.
Yeah. Have a great weekend if you're shooting. If you were lucky enough to get one of those Friday weddings.
Mine's a Sunday wedding. How about
Really?
that?
Mine's a Saturday wedding. Like I told you guys, I don't have a child, so what I was gonna have to do is
Well, he has one child.
I was gonna have to have a new baby born today, and then I was gonna have to deal with that all day today and tomorrow, and then shoot a wedding. And I was like, oh my god, please don't happen.
That's a lot.
So I think it's gonna be Monday, and I'll be good to go. So like
you got
everything's
the whole week
lined
then.
up. It's gonna be sick. Great wedding, great new human that we're gonna be having, and honestly, guys, great audience. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for checking us out.
Thank you.
On the
Thank
Wedding Film
you.
School live show. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye.